Hello, hello, bonjour, bonjour. Welcome, everyone. We are going to be talking to my friend Christopher Evrard today about what's going on in France. Now, I've been traveling recently, and I have not had as much time to delve into the news as I usually do. And thankfully, my friend Christopher messaged me earlier and said if I wanted to talk about the French riots, well, the riots in French that are not very French, he would be glad to come on the channel and talk to me today. And so for the last 30 or 40 minutes, we've been getting videos and links and news articles together to share with everyone today and just sort of walk through what's happening and why, and hopefully maybe dispel some of the propaganda on this story about exactly what's going on. So, Christopher Evrard, welcome to my channel again. Thank you for being
Yeah,
here today.
hello. Thank you for having me once again.
Always a treat to talk to you, my friend. And the purpose of today is I really do hate what's being done to our countries. And France, for the last many years, like many places in the West, has had a lot of vandalism to churches, to important buildings, just general terrorism of the immigrant variety, shall we say? And I believe that it has culminated now into something really horrible in France, and we're going to talk about it today. So, Christopher, take a minute and let people know who you are, why you're here, and how you're going to be helping us sort through the French news today.
Well, first, hello everyone, and again, thank you, Yes, for having me. It's always a pleasure to come here.
Hmm.
My name is Christopher. I am a writer. I have a small YouTube channel, mostly in French, who talks about autism because I have Asperger syndrome. I talk about art, and I do different live stream on many different topics, but mainly it's about culture and art. For example, I have a CV with Trim, a person you may know, who
Hmm.
is from Norway, and he's from the Sultans,
Hmm.
a friend of Arden that is in the chat, by the way. And
Hmm.
we talk just about art, news, and culture, like what's the latest fuck up of Disney, a controversy about a video game, TV show, stuff like that. So my main focus is more about culture and art. But I am from Belgium, with
Hmm.
a neighbor country of France, and I am in the French talking part of Belgium. So I
So
have a
you
lot
are
of
you are definitely a born and raised native French speaker.
yes, and born and raised Belgian, not French. I
Right, right,
I
right.
am very patriotic about that. I'm Belgian, not French.
You are most certainly not French. You are definitely
Yeah.
Belgian, right?
But yeah,
Christopher here is somebody that I would describe as being dangerously French without actually being French.
yeah, not even Canadian. But
Oh,
yeah, so I know a lot about what's happening in France in general. But here with
Oh,
the
and we got a correction in chat. It says Trim is from Sweden, not Norway.
no way, definitely no way. It's a troll.
Oh, that's a troll. Okay.
Yeah, it's troll because Norway and Sweden, it's a long story.
Right, right.
But yeah, so I am well aware of what's happening in France
Okay.
every time. But here with the riot and what's
Well,
happening, and specifically in the leftist sphere, so to say,
mhm.
yeah, I have much to say.
Okay. Well, then we're going to start off with what little I know. I know that France, of course, under Macron, has experienced horrific problems, and going back years now to the Yellow Vest protests or riots, and then the last 2 or 3 years has gotten worse. I know that recently there was a young migrant person who was doing untoward bad things with an automobile, and
Yeah.
a police officer, for fear of his life and to stop him from being a menace, fired a bullet from a pistol and killed him, correct?
Yeah, there is some more added detail to be said, but
Oh, of
that's
course. I'm just
basically
saying
it.
what I've picked up so far.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
a
And then
youngster
after
with
that, and
yeah,
then
but
after that happened, we saw the horrible riots explode into what we've seen the last several days.
yeah.
mm.
Okay. Well, then, how about would you like to start with an article, or would you like to start with a video? How would you like to start this today?
Well, with the beginning, for example, I think I send you like a video in French, but I will do my best to explain to all of you what is said.
Uh huh.
We explain exactly what happened.
Okay. Then we'll go through this and
the title here on the screen is the cops from Nanterre, which is the region in France. Did he act in self-defense?
Did he act in self-defense? Okay, all right.
Si je me rapproche et que je me positionne comme est positionné le collègue sur la vidéo, accoudé sur le pare-brise avec mon pistolet au contact, je vois beaucoup mieux tout l'intérieur de l'habitacle et ce qui s'y passe. Au niveau du point de vue de Naël, le conducteur du véhicule, ça nous démontre que repartir est totalement irrationnel.
So, just a little stop. He does a reenactment of the scene, and he had like a 30 seconds bit to the intro, and I like how he say like at the end before the music, he said if he was to start and drive again, it would be like nonsensical. With a cop on the windshield with the gun, like yeah, I think we can all agree.
Yeah. All right, you want me to play the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alors, ce qu'il faut savoir, c'est qu'en protection normale, on va se situer à peu près à ce niveau du véhicule. Là, avec l'espace restreint, j'ai un mur qui est dans mon dos, je vais avoir une tendance à me rapprocher naturellement. Donc, en position de protection normale, ce qui pourrait paraître un petit peu moins choquant de la vue d'un téléspectateur, voilà ce que je vais voir avec mes yeux. On constate que si je me rapproche et que je me positionne comme est positionné le collègue...
Christopher, what he was just saying there, was he explaining what was going on, or was he actively reenacting the occurrences there?
Both. He explained what happened, and he explained the reasoning of the cop. For example, there when he approached the vehicle and lean on the vehicle, like on the windshield and I think it's the hood, the front part.
Hood. That's correct.
Yeah, the hood. He explained that if the cop is doing that, it's because if he's not that close, he cannot see what's inside the car, like below the torso of the driver. He cannot see the hand. He cannot see if there is someone like hiding below the some level of the car. If he approach the vehicle, he see way more, and he's way more prepared to act if something happened.
Okay.
Sur la vidéo, accoudé sur le pare-brise avec mon pistolet au contact, je vois beaucoup mieux tout l'intérieur de l'habitacle et ce qui s'y passe. Si je suis en protection normale, là on a quelqu'un qui a les mains sur le volant, donc ça va, on voit. Mais s'il met par exemple ses mains en bas, je vois plus rien. Si je repasse en position.
For example, there he said if the person has not the hands on the wheel and it's below the wheel, you cannot see what he's doing with his hand. Maybe he go for a knife, a gun, he jerk off, I don't know.
Contact, je peux de nouveau apercevoir la totalité de l'individu et ce qu'il fait avec ses mains. Donc cette position contact, elle est largement à privilégier. Au niveau du point de vue de Naël, le conducteur du véhicule, ça nous démontre que repartir est totalement irrationnel. Il risque vraiment de se faire tirer dessus. Il y a clairement mise en danger la vie du policier. Il ne peut pas, dans cette position, ne pas être certain de risquer de l'arracher s'il redémarre.
Okay, so what did he say there?
He explained that this was the point of view of the person who's driving the vehicle, and that if he were to start the vehicle, it will be, as I stated, nonsensical and irrational, but also it would endanger himself because of the gun, but also the policeman because he was against the vehicle. And in the real scene, with what happened really, there was a wall behind the police officer. So if he changed the orientation of the wheel, he may have crushed the police officer on the
against
wall.
The wall because he's so close?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a crush injury definitely would have been very likely there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
all
it doesn't
it would have taken,
Yeah.
it would have taken would be for the criminal to have just suddenly and violently turned to the left and then just accelerated by maybe 2 or 3 feet, and that would have been that man suffering a life-crippling injury, if not death.
Yeah, because I know from working in medicine just a little bit, doing entry-level stuff, that very minor impact of a vehicle of any kind, like a work vehicle or even a regular car, can absolutely destroy the human body, crush bones, rupture organs. Because that much inertia, even if a car is only going 3 or 4 miles an hour, if it mashes a person's leg or body against a wall or a flat surface, it can be instantly lethal.
Yeah, it's like a small house on wheels.
Mhm.
Well, I was thinking equivalent to an elephant falling on you.
Yeah.
Hello,
Something that is often not counted or not considered when it comes to observing crush injuries as well is that in the event of the actual bone material itself being broken in sufficient way, not just a single snap, but actually broken into multiple shards, that dramatically increases the surface area of the bone material, which can have the effect of causing excess calcium from the bones to leach into the blood system, causing calcium effectively poisoning throughout the rest of the body, which in of itself can be excessively dangerous.
Okay.
Ensuite dit que le policier avait délibérément visé la tête ou le cœur du conducteur. L'autopsie dit l'inverse. La balle est entrée par le bras gauche. Beaucoup d'argumentaires reposaient sur le fait qu'à cette...
It's a very major point of contention from the leftist side of things. They said that the policeman aimed for the heart or torso and stuff like that. He said, and if I'm correct, it's he's the police officer, the guy on the video, or retired police officer or something, on instructor, something like that, but unofficial man. And he said that the autopsy stated that the bullet entered in the arm, but then unfortunately ricocheted perpendicularly throughout all of the torso, but from the flank. So it pierced the lungs, it pierced the heart and everything.
Well, in my this is something that I don't understand about leftists and media and people who don't understand lethal force is if I'm going to fire a firearm at someone who is a danger, I'm not going to fire at their leg or their arm. I'm going to fire at their center mass to kill them, to stop them. Like this is something that I don't think a lot of people, even in America, understand that aren't familiar with lethal force and firearm usage. Is a firearm is not for non-lethal measures. Like when you fire a bullet, the intent is to deal such tremendous stopping power and tissue damage that the person you shoot, even if they don't die instantly, cannot move and is instantly no longer a threat. That is the goal of firing a bullet into a person.
Yeah, the firing of a gun is the deployment of lethal force.
Yes.
It should be utilized with the intention of ending a life. You either fire the gun with the intention of killing the person,
or you don't
fire the gun.
Correct.
Yeah,
there is no non-lethal shot.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, and one of the other things you'll find too is a lot of people say, "Why'd they shoot him so many times?" Well, it's because once you start firing, you're firing to stop the threat from continuing to be a threat.
And right, exactly. Going from the first thing that Ginger just said there, if you decide to deploy lethal force, that floodgate is open, and you will fire the rounds that it takes to stop the threat, whether it's 2 or 50.
Yeah, but I wanted to. Oh, sorry. I wanted to make sure that people understand that it did not aim for the center mass, as you say. Even went the extra mile of aiming the arm, but unfortunately the bullet ricocheted.
Oh well, that was very kind of him, but perhaps too kind.
Yeah, but the leftists said, "Oh, he aimed to kill, blah blah blah." Not even true.
Well, I don't mean to sound dark-minded or bloodthirsty.
No.
But as an American who was raised with firearms, even when I was a little child, my father and the men in my family who taught me to shoot, they said, you never fire a bullet ever at any creature, whether it be man or beast, unless you intend it to be killed and be dead forever. Like that's how I was trained, because that's what bullets do. They are not subdual weapons; they are killing weapons.
Yeah, a lot of the gun
Le policier avait pu choisir délibérément.
I'm sorry, Ardent. What'd you say?
I was going to say a lot of the gun tubers bang on about how one of the rules of firearm safety is never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to destroy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All right, let's roll on for sake of time here.
L'argumentaire reposait sur le fait qu'à cette distance, le policier avait pu choisir délibérément, précisément, là où il ciblait son tir. Et bien, si c'est le cas, il a délibérément visé le bras et non pas la tête et le cœur, comme on a voulu nous faire croire. Quand la police ouvre le feu, elles tirent non pas pour tuer, mais pour neutraliser. Et je peux vous garantir que quand vous tirez délibérément dans les jambes ou dans les bras, l'intention de donner la mort n'est plus du tout évidente. En revanche, une balle peut ricocher. Et ça n'est absolument pas de la responsabilité du tireur. La balle entre dans le bras gauche, ricoche et se dirige dans le thorax pour le traverser de gauche à droite. Évidemment, une telle trajectoire ne peut être que fatale. L'ogive va très certainement traverser le système cardiovasculaire et le système pulmonaire. Mais la trajectoire de la balle n'est en rien.
There he explained what I said about the bullet
Okay.
Going in the arm and ricochet, and he also explained a bit before that when a cop shoots, it's not to kill, it's to stop and injured, and they most likely, when they can, aim for the arm or the leg or something like that. It's not that easy to aim to kill. To arrest someone. That's basically where he was going.
Okay.
Or to stop someone in that case.
That's a very interesting difference in law enforcement training there and here, because here law enforcement they are trained to stop, not to wound, and stopping is equivalent to killing because you fire center mass at the heart and lungs. That's where you fire. But anyway, let's continue on.
Imputable au policier qui la tire. On a beaucoup entendu critiques sur la position du motard tireur de Nanterre. Alors concernant sa position accoudée et penchée sur le pare-brise, ça peut paraître dangereux pour l'agent, mais en fait ça lui permet d'avoir une vue plongeante et bien meilleure à l'intérieur de l'habitacle. Techniquement, ça ne met en danger que l'agent et personne d'autre. Il faut rappeler qu'il vient d'y avoir une course-poursuite et que le fuyard a déjà mis plusieurs vies en danger dans son périple. Le choix du policier de se mettre lui-même en danger pour convaincre.
There he explained the position on the biker because he was a bike police officer, and why he was leaning on the car and on the hood. He explained that it was to how to say that, put himself only in danger and not someone else, previously, to have a clearer view of the inside and etc. And also it was for because he had something behind him, like the wall behind him, that he had the risk to be crushed.
Okay.
L'individu de se stopper est logique de la part d'un gardien de la paix. Il préfère se mettre lui-même en danger plutôt que de permettre au conducteur de repartir et d'aller peut-être tuer un passant quelques mètres plus loin. D'un point de vue théorique, il est facile de critiquer sa position et encore plus facile de le faire depuis un plateau télé. D'un point de vue moral et opérationnel, la position du policier est la bonne. En plus, opérationnellement, c'est pas si critiquable que ça. Il faut prendre en compte les reflets dans le pare-brise et au moment de l'action, il est prioritaire de voir ce qui se passe à l'intérieur de l'habitacle. Les individus peuvent être armés et le policier placé en protection a également la responsabilité de la vie de son coéquipier qui est à ce moment-là dans l'habitacle, très certainement en train d'essayer de couper le contact. Il faut savoir que les motards ont l'habitude des refus d'obtempérer.
For a second, he explained also for the partner of the guy who was leaning on the hood. It was his job to make sure that the other officer was safe, but also the position of the second police officer was to try to get the keys and stop the car in contact, like I don't drive cars, so I don't know the terminology in English, but
to turn off the ignition.
Exactly. Yes, because the car was still on, so to say.
I see.
And also I forgot to mention that. Sorry. I think he said this in this video, but maybe it was outside, that previously they had a 30-minute chase because the guy was like driving nuts in the street. And I think, again, I don't remember if it's in this video or other place, but he barely, not barely, he missed some people on the street, like they were about to be knocked off on the street. But
so he almost killed people with his reckless driving.
I think it's 3 person.
Okay.
I think it's 3.
Okay.
And he was underage in an expensive car, and presumably he was from a poor background. So many reasons to say like what the fuck is happening, and the cop to go to the extra mile to make sure, motherfucker, stop now.
Okay.
The tension in the situation was this. The context is very important. Like you don't react the same. That's me talking, but he also explained a bit about this in the video. You don't react the same after a 30-minute chase with almost striking down 3% than a normal please, sir, paper, please, thank you very much.
Because if the person is driving crazy and has been going on a tear and almost killed people, then obviously the police know that there's something serious happening, and this is not just a routine stop.
Yeah, and also again the car was on, so the other cop was trying to get the key and turning off the ignition, as you said. So the cop on the hood was like he was dead serious on stopping what could happen.
All right, we got a few seconds left. Let's wrap this up here.
Et ils ont souvent le réflexe d'attraper eux-mêmes les clés et de couper contact.
La vidéo du tir qu'on a beaucoup vue la semaine dernière, vous savez, dans cette vidéo, on devine une discussion lors du contrôle. Certains avaient cru entendre les policiers dire à Naël « Je vais te mettre une balle derrière la tête » ou « Shoot-le », ce qui laisse penser à un tir prémédité. Eh bien, aujourd'hui, l'IGPN, cette police des polices, n'a pas du tout la même analyse. Elle entend les policiers demander à Naël à plusieurs reprises « Coupe », sous-entendu « coupe le moteur » et « Mets tes mains derrière la tête », ce n'est pas une menace, mais plutôt une sommation. Le jeune Naël aurait lui répondu « Pousse-toi avant de redémarrer ».
Okay.
Yeah. This is another piece of evidence that the leftists propagated very widely. It's a bit hard to explain in English, but the French misheard that he said, je vais te tirer une balle dans la tête, which means I will shoot you in the head or put a bullet in your head. But actually, what the cop said was, mets tes mains derrière la tête, which means put your hands behind your head.
Got you. I can see how that would be misconstrued.
Yeah.
Yes.
One other thing one cop said is shoot, the same in English. But what the cop said was coupe, which means turn off the car.
Okay.
So they even played on what the cop said, and it said it was not premeditated, it was not the intent to kill, and etc.
So the evil media does what it does and tries to inflame the immigrants and the non-whites to be more violent with the way they shape the news.
Yes.
Well, we also, speaking of the media causing violence, would you like to now take us through the article about the mayor and his family being attacked?
Oh yeah. I picked this one because because I'm sure that all of you at least saw what happened in the street, like the fire and the looting, etc.
Yes.
So this is a mayor from a small, very small town. I don't even Valderman. Yeah, it's near Paris, but not in Paris, I think. He not outright stated this backing of the cop who shot the youngster, but he was not against, and he almost like barricaded his the city hall or the building with where he work and etc. And the rioter took the opportunity to go to his personal house and ram it with a vehicle and try to do damage and almost kill his wife and 2 young daughter.
Is this the video here?
Yes. You see the aftermath.
Oh my goodness.
It appears as though the car caught blaze after the crash.
Yes.
That's that fine French engineering for you.
Okay.
Well, I think the correct term of this action is vehicle ram or something like that.
In America, we would call it a vehicular attack or a vehicular collision. Also, if the intent is to kill and you do damage, it's vehicular manslaughter or vehicular murder. Yes.
So there on a part of the article, he had 2 children of 4 and 7 years old, and they run to their garden to flee the scene because they were on like makeshift weapon fire. But the spouse was wounded and is hospitalized. Apparently, the text said that also one of the daughter was hurted.
That's awful.
Yes, I had heard that the family didn't manage to get away unscathed.
Oh, you heard about it?
Bunch of evil savages.
And literally
literally going for the women and children.
And I picked this article because it showed that it go way beyond the riot for protesting or express their anger after one small kid was killed in a difficult situation. They went out of their way to find the address of the guy and everything.
Did they apprehend the man who attacked the mayor and his family?
I think not.
That's
And
too
they,
bad.
they weren't alone.
My prediction is that this is going to be one of those cases where there are too many potential suspects, and they end up giving up due to a lack of ability to be able to identify the right person. I mean, after all,
This
the car
also
that was being driven into the front garden was set on fire. That
Was it
make
stolen?
look.
at this point we
Chances
don't
are
care.
it would have been stolen.
But
yes.
one other thing that Ginger is explaining, and I think I sent you like a picture with some number. Yes.
Oh, certainly. You want me to show
Yeah.
that now? Okay.
Yeah, because it's related. So this is on the left. It's the riot in 2005. I will explain a bit more later on.
Okay,
But
this
this
is
is
the
the number.
2005 riot.
Yeah. So the first section is the night of riot. Second is vehicle burned. Third one is building burn or damaged. Then the number of policemen and gendarme. It's another form of policeman, but it's not actual policeman.
Yeah, a gendarme is more like just a security guard, not a full police officer.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable. Then it's policemen and gendarme wounded. And the last one is a person arrested during the riot. So you see, the number are crazy because on the right side, this is 2023, and it's only 5 nights against 21 on the first event. So yeah, and the number who is more relevant to the conversation and what Ginger said is the number of police officers. 45,000 police officers deployed.
That's what mobiliser means?
Yes. On the ground and ready to act.
Because that's very similar to the word that we say in English of mobilize or mobilizes.
Yeah.
I recognize that.
So
Just as a
the
point of research, the gendarmerie is a military unit, whereas the police is civil. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I may have
okay.
that
Then,
split.
because I looked up the
That's
term
fine.
gendarme and I thought it was like security forces, but that means military security forces.
Yeah. I just did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
It seems
They-
it swapped my microphone to a different microphone. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
the police
Yeah.
are a civil force. The gendarmerie is a military force. Each one subject to its own rules. Both obey a common code of ethics. That's from the Ministère de l'Intérieur in France.
yeah,
I suppose
Ministry
in
of
that
Interior.
case that
Yeah, the Interior Ministry.
the gendarme, or I think I've probably just butchered that. That would be roughly equivalent to
MPs, in a sense, I think.
yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, but what I was going to is that they don't have enough manpower to act everywhere efficiently, and so for the mayor house, there weren't any policemen available. At one point, you have to choose who to protect and where to go. 45,000. It's crazy number.
That's a lot. That's like
Yeah.
that's like martial law numbers. That's crazy.
There is something else that's worth bearing in mind regarding the specific event of the car being used to attack the house, by the way. Since the car was burned, pretty much there's going to be no way to gather evidence for this.
Almost.
Yeah.
It was going to be
Any-
complicated.
Any DNA traces will be gone. I highly doubt there's been any level of security footage. There'd be basically no way of being able to tell who was actually responsible. So unless they intend to arrest and charge upwards of 100 or so people who could have potentially have been responsible, then whoever is responsible for actually having done the deed is
They should just arrest all the
away from
immigrants and
it
get rid of them.
scot-free.
All right. Well, let's move on now then. We have since we're talking about the violence, let's go ahead and look at some of the things I pulled up on Twitter here. This is a local police chief.
I appear to not be getting any audio.
we don't
No, there's no
hear
audio.
anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I saw this clip earlier this morning, actually.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that when I pipe it in this way, there's not audio. We'll leave that for now. Let's see. Where is this?
I can tell you more or less verbatim what he said, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Where is it? Why is it not showing me what I had open? It reset the links. Damn it. What about this one? Why is it just showing me his profile and not all the things I had preloaded? I hate it when Twitter is really frustrating. All right, here we go. Here's one. This is a police station being set on fire.
Oh yes, there are multiple ones.
Yeah. There's a police station being attacked. And you'll notice there's a certain pattern you'll notice in these videos. Here's a Catholic church being attacked. One of hundreds this year already.
Yeah, it's a bit of a miracle that Notre Dame is even being rebuilt.
Yeah. And then here's the police struggling to arrest a rioter. And then what else do we have here? Where was it? Yeah, here we go. Britain First says that there's been 11,000 dumpster fires, 5,000 vehicle fires, etc. 722 policemen and gendarmes wounded, 35 firefighters injured. And as you can see, France is not doing so well right now. There's
that bottom right clip there. That is that no? Okay, fair enough. I thought for a moment then that the burning vehicle was actually still moving, but
Yeah.
no,
No,
it's
it was
the
just
camera
a,
moving. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Also,
Many people said that with this scene and this kind of visual, it's almost like Walking Dead.
yeah. Here's a scene of police rolling through, shooting what looks like suppression fire at people.
Yeah, I send you like some picture of the heavy equipment they used to protect and defend. It's very impressive.
Yeah, we'll look at that after we get through these. Here's just the aftermath. Wait, no, this is an aftermath. This is a normal Paris street.
Yes.
Yeah, that just looks like standard Paris to me.
I was going to say, that's just regular Paris. What are they talking about?
But just to be fair, weren't they in the middle of a garbage strike as well?
When are they not
yeah,
in the middle of a
fair.
garbage
I
strike?
think they were.
Yeah. It's for the law for work, because there was some problem.
Okay, which one are we going to look at next? You said the equipment one. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, for the gun nut in your chat, and I think Ardent will like it too.
Oh, I love military equipment.
I'm kind of digging that ATV personally.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
I don't think riding back to back like that is such a good tactic, though.
I assume since these guys look more military, these are the gendarme security forces.
It's the different. It's the red, RAD.
Okay.
It's a special branch. I don't know all of it, so I leave Arden to snoop around.
So this says Policia
I'm already
Nationale.
going.
I assume this is like the National
Yeah,
Guard.
this is the
like we
police.
have in
It's
America.
National Police.
National Police.
Stands for Recherche, Assistance, Intervention, Dissuasion, Research, Assistance, Intervention, Deterrence.
Okay.
It's an elite tactical unit of the French National Police. So
Okay.
it's essentially SWAT in
SWAT. Military SWAT. Okay.
relatively analogous, I think.
Okay.
Hmm.
And here we have. Oh, I like this. That's cool looking. That looks like something out of an anime or a science fiction. I like that. That's cool.
Is that
I
a
assume
rainbow on the side of
that the light on that police it strobes or
Maybe it's a reflection. Too.
I'm thinking of
I
some sort of reflection. It
suspect
looks like
that's a
firelight
reflection,
almost.
Yes.
oh, look at this one. I like this one. That's a
Yeah,
badass.
so this is the BRI, which is like the very heavy stuff. It's very they don't mess around. It's not the Foreign Legion, but close.
Yeah, this looks like a military troop
And
transport.
for the people who know about military in the world, the French Foreign Legion is definitely no joke.
Yes, the French Foreign Legion is, for all intents and purposes, I might be misunderstanding this, but I believe that they're basically the closest thing France has as an equivalent to, say, the U.S. Marines or the SEALs or the
Something
British
like that.
SAS.
Yes, it's very elite.
Yeah.
It could be reflective paint, yeah, on the one up here. Somebody said reflective paint. That's probably correct.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be cool if that was like a rotating light that would
Yeah.
pulsate because I'm weird and like sci-fi stuff. And here we have people in their kit. Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And this is the comment, so you can skip.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, it shows that normally for Riot, even like an important one, you don't use this kind of stuff. Like it's
Well, that's because I think that everyone agrees now that this is not a riot. This is war. This is warfare. This is open warfare against the native population of France by hostile immigrants. And that is about the kindest way you can say it.
You know,
and also,
anybody
sorry to
sensible
interrupt. Sorry, Ginger, just to finish. You see like a list of town and cities just a bit up, like Montpellier, Nancy, Lille. It's all in the whole country. It's like top left, bottom right. It's the entire country. And okay, France is not that big as the US, but France is not a small country.
No, France is pretty large. Yes.
Yeah, and so for example, Lille is near me in Belgium. Bordeaux, Montpellier, it's the very bottom left. Strasbourg and Lyon is like close to Germany and Switzerland. So yeah, it's the entire country. So sorry to interrupt, Ginger.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead, Ginger.
Oh, I was just going to say that it's worth bearing in mind that, as somebody in the chat said earlier, there's less than 200,000 active personnel in Britain at any given moment. And a quarter of that has been deployed just to handle this.
Wow.
For all intents and purposes, assuming that the armed forces of Britain and France are roughly equal, France is effectively deploying a significant chunk of its own forces just to stop internal strife. This is less military effort than they would deploy into foreign action.
Yeah. This is a serious problem.
Yes, and Illuminatus say also a thing in the chat is even small village like 200 population, even they sometimes have like stuff burning.
Well,
and
it's
this
important
is very
to
new.
It's important to note here that people that have been worried about mass migration and the attack on the host population, like myself, we have been warning for years that this would happen. Because when you see the people that fund the mass migration, your George Soroses, your international NGOs, different parts of the United States-Israel war machine complex, they fund mass migration specifically for destabilization and because they want to hurt and destroy the fabric of our civilizations, of our ethnicities, whether it be French or German or what have you. And this is the end result. And I think that the people behind this that fund this, they want this to spread to every village, every town, every city in the West. And I don't know exactly why, but if I had to guess, I would say it's because they want to control everything and equalize everything. And the only way to do that is to destroy everything and start over. So I think that a big part of all of these migrants coming here to destroy everything, I think it's not just an accident or incompetence or idiots that believe in equality and think that, oh, we have to help out the poor third worlders. No, I think the people behind this that actually pay for this and organize this, I think they have hostile, malign intent in mind. What do you guys think about that?
I will leave the other people to talk first.
I I can't really give an opinion on that, I'm afraid.
Okay.
There's they often say that during times of war, you don't know what is or isn't true until long after the war is closed.
Mhm.
And given what's happening right now, I would most definitely say that that applies here.
Okay.
What? I'm sorry, I was distracted by chat. What was the question again?
I just said I think that the people who orchestrate mass migration and the people like Macron in power that facilitate it, I don't think that they are good-hearted idiots. I think they are actually evil. I think that they, with malicious intent, know what they're doing, and they do it to us anyway. And I'm just curious if you guys thought that too.
I've been saying for a while it's time to stop giving these bastards the benefit of the doubt and start calling them the enemies that they are.
Because I don't see how someone like Macron can facilitate the levels of mass migration while also putting into effect laws and statutes and using government money and NGO globalist money to punish and silence his host population that speaks out against it. Like, if you're doing both of those things at the same time, I don't think there's any way that you cannot know that you're evil, or that you're purposefully making one group suffer and destroy their livelihood. Like, I don't see how these people cannot know what they're doing, because they look at the numbers. They have people that tell them what's going on. They know what they're doing, and they do it anyway. So I think that they are evil and acting with malicious intent. I don't think they're just good-hearted shitlibs that think they're doing the right thing. I think they're actively evil.
Well, part of this comes from, like, Canada, for instance, signed on to the UN Migration Pact. And part of that says that the country that signs on has to instigate laws telling people that they're not allowed to criticize immigration.
Yeah.
For Macron, I have some information. Well, maybe you have too, but Macron was, I think, in a very big, maybe Rothschild or something like that, a bank organization or something like that.
Yeah,
He
the
wasn't
Rothschilds.
he wasn't a nobody, definitely not. And he's a children of the very, very wealthy.
Yes.
And one of the first thing he did, it was to kill and cancel. What's the name of it? Like, it's a tax for the very wealthy, something like that.
Yeah.
So he yeeted that, and then he suppressed some help for employment. Like, if you employ someone who was he didn't get a job for like 2 years or something like that, the employer get a bit of money to entice someone to get someone back on the workforce or something like that. So he dismantled many things.
Yeah.
And he also have a very unlikable attitude. He said, like, oh, you just have to cross the street and find a job.
It's hard to cross the street and find a job when everything's on fire and there are immigrants outside.
It was a long time ago, but yeah, still. And one day in a meeting, he met someone and he said, well, how can you find a job if you don't have a suit and a tie? And the attitude, man, it's something else. It's something else.
It's out of touch and evil. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of evil Macron, let's play this few-second clip here. I want you to see what this idiot said.
Before you start this clip, I have to actually say my goodbyes now to go join my friend Bleach Demon for his Independence Day stream.
Okay, well, I hope you guys have fun, and I will be at the Independence Day stream in Cabal here in a couple hours. So,
excellent. Okay.
See you, Ardent, and give a kiss to Bleach from me, please.
Yeah, you guys have fun on your stream, and I look forward to talking to you later in Cabal.
Okay, adieu, mes amis.
Adieu.
Bye-bye.
Enfin, les plateformes et les réseaux sociaux jouent un rôle considérable dans les mouvements des derniers jours. Nous avons vu sur plusieurs d'entre elles, Snapchat, TikTok et plusieurs autres, à la fois l'organisation de rassemblements violents se faire, mais une forme de mimétisme de la violence, ce qui, chez les plus jeunes, conduit à une forme de sortie du réel. Et on a le sentiment parfois que certains d'entre eux vivent dans la rue les jeux vidéo qui les ont intoxiqués.
So, basically, Macron is a lying sack of shit. And he says that and notice he doesn't bring up race, he doesn't bring up ethnicity, he doesn't bring in immigrant or host population. He says the young. So he is saying that it's not because my policies and the internationalist backers that I have are flooding your country with Muslim migrants who hate you. No, that's not the problem. The problem is TikTok and violent video games. Like the absolute balls of this motherfucker. I hate this guy. To say that, like, I can't imagine what it would be like to be a real French person and have to see this scumbag say that shit on national TV. Like, I would be ready to Fed post him with a fucking axe if I saw my leader say that after what he's done to me.
He's quite a detestable man.
I send you a link on the StreamYard chat. If you can show it on screen, please.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll pop it into the what we were viewing over here, and we'll go.
Yeah, because this is relevant to what you just said and what Macron said. You will you will be shocked.
Okay, all right.
So this said that Macron show is backing of the event, and he is destroyed by the people who host the event. And so, what is the event? The event is a very well-known event, like a streaming special day or weekend or something like that. And they gather all the most famous streamer and YouTuber and stuff like that to do a giant event and give money to some organization and stuff like that.
I notice a difference between this picture and the rioters. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you notice a difference? I do.
And they get a buttload of money. And when I say buttload of money, it's like multiple million. What's the latest Z event? How many did they get? Let me check.
How do I get?
Yes, the latest Z event, which was in September 2022, they get more than 10 million euros.
Oh wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it was for.
It really is quite a bit of money.
Yes, and they always do more than the last year, and it's since 2016 they do this.
What a shocking lack of diversity! How beautiful.
Yeah, and Macron itself said, "Oh, good job, guys." And he shows support for this event, and as you know, streaming, YouTube, etc., most of it is nerd people, geek, and so of course video game. So the motherfucker shows support for video game, and this is what he does just afterward, because the creator of the event was knighted.
Oh wow!
Yes, by Macron itself.
Hang on. Knighted in France,
yes,
the nation that is most famous for having executed its monarchy.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yes,
I would have thought that the whole knighthood scenario would have been done away with. That's quite funny.
And
so,
this
is basically Macron being a giant fat hypocrite.
Yes, and also almost every single streamer say, "Oh, if only you had the power to do something yourself," and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, if only. All right.
So yeah, it's like on one hand he tried to get the youngster on his side. Nice video game, money, charity, blah blah blah. And the other hand, it's because of video games if people are angry.
Like I can't believe that he would say that. Like,
yeah.
Like so he is saying that video games and TikTok and Snapchat are responsible for bringing dozens of thousands of violent young men from Africa and the Middle East into the country. Like that's just, it boggles my mind that he would have the gall to say that.
Yeah.
Ugh. What a S in the chat to spit on Macron. S in the chat. I want to see a sea of S's.
I'll contribute to that.
What a horrible person. I use the term loosely. I almost don't want to even extend personhood to a monster like Macron. What an evil man.
Are you aware that one guy in a meeting with Macron, he said like a medieval sentence before slapping him? Like Montjoie, Saint-Denis, blah, slap.
Oh no, I didn't know that. That's funny. I
And the
can't
guy
say he
went to
doesn't
jail.
deserve it.
And, yeah, the guy went to jail, unfortunately.
No, he should have been
But
a
yeah.
hero. All right.
Oh, he still is.
Well, yeah, he should have been an official hero is a better way to say that. All right, we're going to go back to regular view now, and we have some community engagement to get to. We have our friend Kizza gracing us with some dollars today, with some British pounds. Oh no, he sent US dollars. Must be because it's the 4th. For $5 US, he says, "Good evening, all. Happy Independence Day to those traitorous Yanks." Ha ha ha. The only non-lethal shot is the one that you miss. Right, you are. What we see in France is the true integration of the migrants protesting and burning Paris. I hope you all enjoy yourself. And then for $5 US, he says Macron was a Goldman Sachs banker like Sunak. And his wife.
Goldman Sachs, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Rothschilds. I thought he came.
Yeah,
from
I
Rothschilds.
wasn't sure, but
But either way, it's basically the same thing. And his wife are a predator, and the French voted for him twice. They get exactly what they deserve. Maybe 2027, they might learn their lesson and get rid of him and those cut from the same cloth. Now, Kizza, I understand what you mean, my friend, but I don't think voting matters anymore. I think that we are going to be given our leaders. They are going to be assigned to us regardless of the illusion of voting. I hope that that's not the case, but if what we've seen the last 10 years is any indication, I think that the illusion of democracy is starting to fade. But I do deeply appreciate your money.
I've already decided that when it comes to the leaders that we are given the option to vote for, they serve only one purpose and one role in modern day society: a scapegoat to throw to the wolves whenever the public starts getting a little bit too uppity.
Absolutely agree, my friend. I believe that elected officials...
For France, there is some hope because with this riot, we saw that many so-called far-right extremists took to themselves to protect some businesses and venture and stuff like that. Yeah. And there was some work with many people chanting "La France aux Français," which means France to the French. Yeah. And of course, it's like a far-right extremist. I didn't find link of it. I forgot.
Yeah, the media calls everyone normal and sensible far-right extremists.
Yeah. But yeah, there is some hope that,
Yeah, I do hope. Like, I know that there are millions of us all across the West that are just absolutely sick to death of this. And I do hope and pray that we will have some sort of a future and that this doesn't destroy us entirely. I do hope and pray for that. So we'll see. We'll see. So to move on about actually before we do that, I should make sure I'm not missing any paid chats from anywhere else. Let me check the other places here. Don't want to miss anyone. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there. I'm going to reload PayPal, see if anybody's popped in over there. Probably not. I don't get much action on PayPal these days.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. It's loading right now. Let's see.
Every time I go to your stream, I give $5. It's my way to do like a bribe or something.
You don't have to bribe me. You know that. No, but that's very kind of you. Thank you for the $5.
You are true. I'm a free whore. No problem.
Well, thank you for the $5. I deeply appreciate that. Thank you so much. And no, I don't see anything else over on Rumble or Entropy or anything. So let's go ahead and move on then. So the next thing that we have from you was, do you want to go to the Algerian thing now? Do you want to talk about that?
Do you want to be... yes. Choose white or black pill.
Let's do black pill.
Okay, Algeria then.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So tell us what this is.
Well, some scribbling.
Yeah, definitely doodles.
Yes, but yeah. So I won't read you the entire thing. The most important thing is is on the bottom. Like the Ministry of Foreign Affairs trusts the French government to fully assume its duty of protection. To protect the ressortissants is a weird word, but it's like people from Algeria.
Okay.
So with this only phrase, are we speaking about French or Algerian?
It sounds like they're talking about Algerians.
So yeah, but that's a communique for what's happening in the riot. So it's very weird, the phrasing.
So it's saying that the nation of Algeria expects the forces of France to protect the rioters.
Maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know about the relationship between Algeria and France, but it's a very old one. There was a war named La Guerre d'Algérie, which means the War of Algeria, because Algeria was a colony of France. And there was a war and an independence and blah, blah, blah. It was very bloody, very much bloody. And the Algerian never fully forgave the French for it. But yeah, it's very weird, and it definitely like, please protect the rioter.
That's
Something that's worth bearing in mind regarding the relationship between Algerians and the French. It wasn't a typical colony-style scenario. In any given colony-style scenario, what you usually expect to happen is for the colonizing nation to come in, impose themselves as leadership over the colony, and then basically use that colony as a source of wealth that is then transported back to the host nation, as was the case in the case of, say, the British Empire, with how they treated their African holdings as well as India. In the case of Algeria, though, with the French, it's something quite different. The French, they didn't try to colonize Algeria. They tried to annex it. They tried to take the nation of Algeria and completely supplant it and turn it into another region of France.
interesting. Why did they go about it that way? I'm just curious. Do you know?
I don't know their reasoning behind it, but what I do know is that what this effectively amounted to was the cultural erasure of the Algerian people for all intents and purposes, or at the very least, the attempt thereof. As a result, there were large degrees of what can be most kindly described as crimes against nature, crimes against humanity taking place in Algeria and France. And this didn't cease up until the mid-1900s.
Oh,
It's very late, yeah.
So there's good reason for the Algerian people to hate the French government and, by extension, the French people.
There is only 1 to 2 generations worth of separation between brutal oppression by the French against the Algerians and the modern day.
Yeah,
It's practically within living memory.
In the Second World War, there was
Yeah.
there was special battalion of Algerian soldiers, but they were French. So yeah, the relationship between France and Algeria is very weird and fresh in the mind of every single Algerian.
Okay, that's good. That's good insight. See,
Yeah,
I knew
but
it would be
still
good to do a stream on this today. I always learn something. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's still weird of the phrase of this communique. Like, it's very weird, and I haven't much to say about it because I'm not a history man. But it was worth mentioning because the eyes of Algeria and the international community, like many other countries, are on France. Many countries made fun of France. I forgot to show it to you. Like, there was in Marseille, which is a very, like, almost the second biggest city in France, near Italy, so on the bottom right of the country. And there was a bus with like 41 or 42 Chinese person, like on a tourist venture, and they were attacked by some rioter. And like, China was not happy, not happy at all.
Okay, so moving on from this, then you said there's also a white pill. You want to talk about the white pill?
Yeah, the two GoFundMe and Litchi.
All right, give me just a moment here. Let me get those open. And the other one is this one. All right. I assume this is the one for the youngster who was killed in the car by the police.
Yeah, so this is like a crowdfunding of some sort. It's not a crowdfunding, but it's a collect. I don't know the word in English. But yeah, they gather money to give to the mother, and so you see the money is not small. But then go to the other one.
Oh, wow. Look at that. 1.4 or almost 1.5 million euro.
Yes.
And
Wow.
what are these two funds for exactly?
The first one was for the mother
This
of the
is
child.
for the mother of the anti-white terrorist who was shot to death in his car.
Right.
And the second one is for the family of the policeman.
Who
So,
did shoot him.
There's some clear favoritism taking place here within the French.
Yes, but a very important thing to say is that there were many attempts to sabotage this this GoFundMe. Like they try to signal the collect, they try to copy it. Like I think there is like 20 or 50 fake collect for the family of the police officer. So yeah, they try to play dirty very much, and Twitter and the whole leftist community is going crazy after it. Like even I talked a bit to my sister yesterday, and she shared some guide, some tutorial to try to signal the community and sabotage it. And when I say, "Oh, if I had money, I would give it to the cops," and
Yeah.
she watched me with big eyes, like, "I disown you." And but yeah, people go insane after it. Like it's a shame. It's outrageous. It's I don't know the indignified, or I don't know the word, but yeah, they go crazy after it. Like for them, it's like rewarding the police officer for killing someone. That's the actual thinking and their word.
That's so messed up. It's very
Yeah.
sad that people are so confused and lied to and manipulated by evil people in power. It's very sad.
Yeah, but it's a white pill because you see that many people see it as a way, maybe not to protect themselves, but it's almost like a vote. Do you vote for the young criminal, or do you vote for the police officer who try to do his work and protect
Yeah.
the population?
Yeah.
Because the GoFundMe and the two collect went way out of the actual purpose, which is to give a bit of money to help someone. You don't see this kind of number just to help someone.
Yeah. This is real passion right here.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good to see.
it's a gut response to the riot.
Yeah. So, speaking of the riot, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or go over today? I think that we handled a lot of the important things that people might miss in the nuance today. Is there anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to talk about today?
Yeah, if at least one. The first one with the a cop explain to release the riot in the Discord. I sent you the link.
Okay, 1 second. Let me make sure that. Okay.
If we have still a bit of time, I will go to the last.
Yeah, we have
one.
time. Let's see. I thought I had all of the links open that you sent.
I will give it again.
I might have just missed it. Is it this one?
No, I send you again on Discord.
Okay. Oh, it's a video. Oh yeah, I had it in the other browser because that's the one that I have set up to do sound. Okay.
It's not a long one.
No problem. I'll fire it up right now. Give me just a second. Yeah, I did have that one open already, but since it was a video, I have to put it in this browser so it can have sound. There we go.
Ce matin, il y a des mecs qui nous attendaient dans une voiture avec des battes de baseball, des tournevis et de l'essence. Donc à voir s'ils sont placés ou non. Et là, on vient d'interpeller un mec pour... en fait, il était sur le parking en train de relever toutes les plaques.
What the hell?
Yeah, you can stop.
Yeah, tell us what this is.
Yeah, so the title of the video, Il relâche les racailles, which means they release, how to say racaille in English? Bad person, like
Criminal.
Criminal, something like that. But it's more like people who are sneaky and ill-minded, something like that.
Interloper,
Maybe something like that.
ne'er
But
do well.
yeah, but this is a cop with a voice mixed, of course, and he or she, I don't know, explained that they have to release them because they don't have much, or there is some order from above, I don't know. And they were waiting after they be released. They were waiting outside of the police station with baseball bat, screwdriver, and other kind of weapon. And there was specifically one, the person speak about, who were taking note and making a list of all of the vehicle plate, the number and letter.
Oh yes, yeah.
Of all of the personal vehicle of the police officer.
Oh wow. Do you want me to play the rest of it now?
Yeah, you can a bit.
Sont des collègues, donc je pense qu'il va vraiment falloir faire quelque chose. Donc juste pour continuer la petite histoire, du coup, donc les mecs qui avaient la batte, les bidons d'essence, les outils, du coup, tournevis de 30 cm, tout ça, ont été relâchés, sans rien du tout, voilà. Donc ça traîne devant le commissariat, ça va vers nos véhicules. Il y a eu une seconde interpellation pour un mec qui relevait toutes nos plaques d'immatriculation à l'angle du commissariat et de la route qui se situe au-dessus. Voilà, donc rien n'a été retenu contre eux. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'on fait, nous, en fait? Parce qu'on est suivi, il y a une collègue de la nuit qui s'est fait suivre chez elle ce matin. On relève nos plaques, des individus.
Okay.
So, yeah, they have no charge. They are released with no charge.
Okay.
And they cannot do anything. And the cops are starting to get very pissy. Because, as this person explained, they are followed after, like, they are hunted on a trail or something. I don't know in English.
No, those are good words. Those are good words to use.
They are followed, like in another article I found that there was a police officer, a woman in like off duty with her two small children. She was hunted down in the street in her car, and like she had to flee, like actual Mad Max road trip.
Oh wow.
And go to a police station to be protected, because she in broad daylight. Yeah. And this police officer on the video explained that they cannot do anything. They are free of charge, and they go outside the police station, and they get back with all of their friends just like 100 meters outside of the police station. Like they crack their knuckle. Oh, yeah, wow. Some cops to beat up.
So this goes back to a thing that I've been saying for a long time now, is that civilization is not communicable. Like the cultural norms and the way of being and the decency and the values that people share, it's not like a contagious disease. You can't just bring in 100,000 Africans and expect them to just naturally catch and be infected with being French. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And when you have people that are of a very different genetic group, of a very different religion, of a very different cultural experience, and you bring them over and put them together, of course they're not going to get along. They're not going to have the same values, and they're going to fight for dominance. And the people from the more violent, primitive, tribal culture, the third worlders, they're going to be the ones that terrorize the complacent advanced society, the French.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. Well,
it's very sad because you can feel in this declaration, but other also, that they are powerless. Like I think that they were starting. I saw that somewhere. They were starting to count the ammunition, because they maybe didn't have enough gear or armor or something. Like it's one thing to have orders like you cannot do anything, to escalate, blah blah blah. But if they are under gear, under staff, like I show you the number, like 45,000 cops. But if they are just armed with sticks, and in the street they use actual like AK-47, because there was some picture of people who use actual weapon and firing live rounds, like not rubber bullet, like actual rounds. what can they do? What do the cops can do? I lost my English. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's worth bearing in mind as well that under normal circumstances, there are only really two scenarios where a selection of armed forces, whether it be a private militia, a police force, etc., begins taking an inventory of their supplies. And the first circumstance is when they're wanting to do a lot of selling of things. The second circumstance is when they want to do a lot of using of things.
Yeah.
And I think we know which one of those is most likely in this scenario.
Indeed.
That's a little concerning if they're starting to take stock.
It is. So, we have come to the end of this stream, and the thing that I would like to leave you all with is there is going to be darkness before there is dawn. But I want to remind all of you to not give up. There are always going to be ugly, dark things that we have to contend with. Our people have had many hard times at the hands of this evil plague that is sweeping through our civilization. We saw it rear its ugly head in the mid-1900s. We saw it rear its ugly head in America with the brother wars of the 1850s, and on and on. But remember, our people have always persevered, and it's important to love yourself, love your kin, love the people around you, and build strong communities. Because if we are going to survive and have a future at all, it won't be out of hate. It will be out of love and a commitment to those around you and a commitment to the people that you've always known and that hopefully you will have and bequeath whatever it is that's important to you onto children and to those in your community. So if the things you've seen today make you angry, make you upset, it's important to remember to keep heart and build something positive in your life. Create community, create family. If there's not a good church or school around you, talk to other concerned people and start one. If there's not a city watch, or if the police where you live are failing you, then work with other people where you live to create a city watch. I had Ernst Van Ziel of AfriForum on my channel just months ago to talk about what it's like living in South Africa and why the white people there, especially the Boers, have started taking their fate into their own hands because the government just won't. The corporations don't care about them. The government actively hates them. And many of us now in the West are experiencing what the Boers in South Africa are experiencing. So we have to take our fate into our own hands. We have to build communities, watches, organizations, networks. And I'm not talking about a militia to shoot the government. That's a good way to get yourself in trouble and killed. I'm talking about a city watch. Get networked together. Do your best to use information technology that can't be easily taken from you. Learn to use things like the Fediverse, Mastodon. Learn to use things like Element instead of something more compromised like Twitter or Discord. And I know that Telegram has its problems, but Telegram is a little better than many of the other options. And most importantly, network together with people in person. Build regular events that you can all do at least once a month.
Find yourself a nice Belgian.
Find yourself a nice Belgian. That's a good idea. But no, I just wanted to leave you guys with hope and positivity. Remember that our people have persevered through many dark times, under many tyrants, and through many wars. And unfortunately, this is a different kind of war. It's a genetic war. It's an economic war being waged in our hearts and minds and in children's classrooms. So it's very important to build positively. Keep your family and your loved ones away from social media. Keep them away from the cancer of modernity, and build whatever you can with like-minded people. And hopefully the best of us and the smartest of us will survive the storm and one day thrive again. So I'll leave you with that positive wisdom there. Ginger, Christopher, anything you guys want to say before we say our goodbyes and get out of here?
I just wanted to say that it's important to bear in mind that in addition to everything Yiz just said, the people that you see running through the streets, whilst they may be your current threat, they are not your enemy. Your enemy is the ones that guide them, the ones that goad them into doing these riots in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, all of the fires that are burning throughout the streets of France today, they are caused by one people, but it's another people entirely who are to blame.
Don't hate the attack dogs of war. Hate the ones who unleashed them on you.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher, any closing words before we head out?
Yes, and it's a perfect way to end all of the many links I sent you. I would like if you can just show for a few seconds the latest link I gave you, and I
Certainly.
repost it. I will post it also in chat for people who want, because I think they will find it interesting.
Sure.
Because it's a white pill, it gives hope.
Give me just a second to get that open. I had already closed my browser for.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Yes.
okay. I thought we were done, but we'll pop right back in here.
It's very quick. I won't go.
It's okay.
On it.
I'm not in any hurry. I'm just letting you know why it's taking me a minute to get it set back up.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's a French article, but there is way to translate it, even with Google Translate, in a very barbaric way. So it's a retelling from a leftist point of view. I'm sorry, but still the tears are nice. Of a few sentences and judgment of some of the people who were caught in the riot. And he explained that the judge is a very expeditive, no bullshit, go in jail.
Good.
But a sad thing is that almost 100% of them are minor, from 13 to 17 years old, something like that. That's the majority. In the end, it's from 13 to 16.
Okay. So
yeah.
With the way that the law works there, are they going to be deported?
No, because they are all French born. But they will go in a juvenile prison, or maybe, because this is not a final judgment, they go in jail waiting for the actual end of the process or something. I'm not a lawyer, but maybe the parent will take some of the blame or something like that. So this is how I wanted to finish the stream, is that as you said, there is still some nice people to be found, even sometimes in the law system.
Well, it's a shame that they won't be publicly executed, but baby steps. Baby steps.
So it's nice to see that the judge and everything are no bullshit. For example, yes, but my girlfriend is pregnant. Why is it relevant? Or yes, but I will go to Sorbonne University. I don't care. They apply the law. You do very important and severe stuff, you pay accordingly.
Hey, we have Shelly in the chat. Good to see you, Shelly. Shelly was at my picnic event earlier. It's good to see her. And always have Reptile and a lot of people here. We've had a good crowd today. We had almost 100 live viewers. That was good. So happy 4th of July to all of you. Happy Freedom Day to my Leaf Canadian friends. And
happy Burger Day, everyone.
Yes, happy Burger Day to us Americans. So again, just remember to keep heart and do your best to build positively, build constructively. And the best thing that regular people can do is just to not give up and to care about what goes on around you. You can't change the federal government. You can't change international banks and corporations, but you can build positively with other people of like mind in your immediate area. And that's what we all should be doing. That's the best thing that we can do. It's the only thing we can do. So I love you all. I hope you have a blessed week, and I will definitely be back next Monday night for more Discordant Dragons. And for those of you that said you were going to send me things on Cash App, they still haven't shown up, but I do deeply appreciate any of the dollars that you decide to share, and I'll read them on my next stream. So good night, everyone.